Good morning, students. How are you? I hope you all are fit and fine. We were studying chapter number 5, that is separation of substances. This is your lecture number 5. In this lecture, we will discuss all the NCERT questions. Means I will provide you the solution of all the NCERT questions in this lecture. Okay, so let's start. Question number 1 is, why do we need to separate different components of a mixture? Give examples. So answer is, different components of a mixture are used to separate in order to remove either impurities from the components of a mixture or some useful components is separated from a mixture. It means basically for separating the impurities or some useful components we do separation. For examples, grains contain some impurities such as dirt particles, stones, etc. that are removed by hand picking or winnowing so that we can get pure grains. Right? Another example is mangoes and apples are mixed together, kept in a container. So, for separating these fruits, we use hand picking method. Means we will separate these fruits by hand picking. Now, question number 2 is, what is winnowing? Where is it used? Answer is, winnowing is a farming method used for separating grains from chaff. It is used to separate the heavier components from the lighter components such as dust particles of a mixture by blowing of air or wind. Okay. It is used by ancient peoples or mostly by farmers to separate husk particles from the grain. This picture shows the winnowing method, which is used for separating the lighter particles or lighter impurities with the help of wind or by blowing the air. Question number 3 is, how will you separate husk or dirt particles from a given sample of pulses before cooking? Answer is, by using sedimentation and decantation methods. And for removing, add water in the pulses that contain husk or dirt particles. Then husk or dirt particles comes upward to the top surface of water and pulses settles down to the bottom of the container. Now, pour the water into another container. Husk or dust particles remove along with water. Means when we are pouring water into another container, then husk or dirt particles also removed with the water. In this way, husk or dust particles are separated from the pulses before cooking. Okay. Husk or dust particles are separated from the pulses by using sedimentation and decantation method. Question number 4. What is sieving? Where is it used? Answer is, it is a simple and convenient method of separating particles of different sizes with the help of sieve that contains holes in it. A small sieve that contains small holes and very fine particles pass through these holes, and bigger size particles left behind in the sieve itself. It is used in homes to separate flour from impurities such as stone, husk, etc. And it is also used in construction sites that separate sand from stone. It means if we want to separate sand from stone, means we want to remove these stones from the sand, then we can use sieving method. Okay, that's why we are saying it also used in construction sites. Question number 5. How will you separate sand and water from their mixture? So for separating sand and water, we use following methods. First is, keep the mixture of sand and water remains undisturbed for some time. After some time, the sand will settle down at the bottom of the container, and this process is termed as sedimentation. Means we use sedimentation method, and after that water is transferred to another container with the sand remains left in that container. Okay, this process is termed as decantation. This transferring of water into another container with the sand remains left in that container is termed as decantation. In this way, sand can be separated from the water. In short, we can say the process of transferring water into another container is termed as decantation. Second method, the mixture of sand and water can also be separated by filtration. And how? When this mixture is poured to filter paper, then water passes through this filter paper and sand remains on the filter paper. In this way, sand can be separated from water. It means what? Filter paper allows only water to pass through it, and the sand remains on the filter paper. Question number 6 is it possible to separate sugar mixed with wheat flour? If yes, how will you do it? Answer is yes, it is possible to separate sugar mixed with wheat flour. This can be done by the method of sieving. The mixture of sugar and wheat flour poured into a small sieve and allowed to pass through it. After pouring into a small sieve, the wheat flour that has very fine size particle would pass through the small sieve, and sugar that has small particles would remain in the sieve. Okay. In this way, we can separate sugar from the wheat flour. The wheat flour has very small size particles, so it can pass through the small sieve. Okay. Question number 7 is fill in the blanks. A part is the method of separating seeds of paddy from its stalks is called dash. So the answer is threshing. The method of separating seeds of paddy from its stalk is called threshing. B part is when milk cooled after boiling is poured onto a piece of cloth, the cream is left behind on it. This process of separating cream from milk is an example of dash. So students, this is an example of filtration. This process of separating cream from milk is an example of filtration. C part is salt is obtained from sea water by the process of dash. Salt is obtained from sea water by the process of evaporation. So the answer is evaporation. D part is impurities is settled at the bottom when muddy water was kept overnight in a bucket. The clear water was then poured off from the top. The process of separation used in this example is called dash. So children, tell me, this process of separation is an example of decantation. The process of separation used in this example is called decantation. Okay. Question number 8 is true or false. Some statements are given to you and you have to identify that this statement is true or false. A part is a mixture of milk and water can be separated by filtration. Can we separate it by filtration method? Can we separate milk and water by filtration? Answer is false. We can't separate milk and water by filtration method. So this statement is false. B part is a mixture of powdered salt and sugar can be separated by the process of winnowing. First of all, you should know that what is winnowing. It is a method of separating impurities with the help of wind or by blowing the air. Right? So, can we separate the mixture of powdered salt and sugar by winnowing method? So, students, we can't separate this mixture of salt and sugar by winnowing method. So, this statement is false. C part is separation of sugar from tea can be done with filtration. Can we separate sugar from tea by using filtration method? So students, we can't separate sugar from tea with the help of filtration method. So this statement is false. D part is grain and husk can be separated with the help of decantation. Can we separate grain and husk with the process of decantation? This statement is also false because we can't separate grain and husk with the process of decantation. For separating the husk from the grain, we can use winnowing method. Okay, so this statement is false. Question number 9 is lemonade is prepared by mixing lemon juice and sugar in water. You wish to add ice to cool. Should you add ice to lemonade before or after dissolving sugar? Means when will you add ice? Before or after dissolving sugar? In which case would it possible to dissolve more sugar? Question is, in which case would it possible to dissolve more sugar? Answer is, we should add ice to lemonade after dissolving sugar. It would be possible to dissolve more sugar in water in normal conditions. In cold water, the solubility of lemonade decreases and it takes more time to dissolve sugar. Okay, that's why we should add ice to lemonade after dissolving sugar. This is the main reason. Okay. So students, your homework is learn and write all the NCERT questions in fair notebook. Okay, this is your homework. Learn all the NCERT question and write all the questions in your fair notebook. So this ends for today's lecture. Thank you.